Once again, I am asking you guys, what if Breloom was in Gen 1 OU? Now, a year ago, I made a video on Breloom, and my end conclusion was that 70 base speed with Spore would be so bad Breloom would need to get banned. Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking. That is kinda ridiculous. Like, now that I make the replays, oh my gosh, no, that is just not true. If anything, it's far more the opposite. Breloom is just not very good. It's sad to say, since Breloom is literally one of my favorite Pokemon of all time, but he struggles really badly. It makes me sad to say. But there are some good things to Breloom, like, don't get me wrong. Obviously, base 70 speed with Spore, that's great. I would even say, on paper, he's the best sweep setter. The best one is probably still Executor though, followed by Jinx, and then Gengar, and then probably no, you're probably better than Victory Bell. That's like the bare minimum I'll give you, better than Victory Bell. But still, there's not much Breloom's really doing. Not Ubers. Or definitely Ubers, but not OU either. But then again, 130 attack, Sword Stance, Body Slam, Hyper Beam, you hit pretty hard. And when I made my original video, I was so dumb, I even thought that Sludge Bomb was a move in Gen 1, which is not. But I was surprised with just the amount of moves that Breloom has that I didn't even realize. It also has Growth, Mega Drain, Thunder Punch, and Seismic Toss. Growth is really funny. I don't think it's good. Not at all. At least not in OU. I think in underuse, where Breloom will most likely end up being, there's probably a niche for it. I could even see it maybe being good. I don't know how strong Tangela is. If Tangela's like base special is anywhere similar to Breloom's, then absolutely you can use Growth. But if not, your physical attacking sets are still more than enough. But the only move here you're really going to use is Seismic Toss. It's your only real way of hitting Gengar, since Thunder Punch won't hit much even with a Growth. Mega Drain's resisted, and both Body Slam and Hyper Beam are just fallout immune. So, yeah, that kind of sucks. But to be fair though, with Sword Stance and Spore, you're going to have plenty of opportunities where you're getting a free, SD up. So I feel like you can maybe replace Body Slam, so you can hit pretty much anything, and then with Hyper Beam, like with 2 Hyper Beams, you just kill everything basically. It might be a bit of a win more, but I'm going to argue that's what you need in the first place for Breloom. I don't know how I thought Breloom would be too much for OU. Let's watch a slaughter. You're going to see a lot of videos or replays where Breloom does not have a good time, starting off with the boy himself freezing Breloom to death. You hate to see it. But yeah, like, well, my original video, I had Breloom put everything to sleep, and then went over how Breloom can take advantage of that. And technically in a 1v1, it can survive and do something. But, as you already know, if you watch my channel for a while, I no longer use sleep as a good way to determine if a Pokemon's good or not, because sleep clause exists. You probably noticed that for a lot of my recent videos, I completely stopped using Sweet Powder and Lovely Kiss on Executor and Jinx, only using it in certain situations where the battle is long enough to where it'll be relevant. And that's because, like, since anything can be put to sleep, and that's it, you can have Breloom versus Executor, and technically Breloom does outspeed Executor and put it to sleep, but the issue is that if your Executor you deem as important enough, you can switch into your Starmie or some other sleep sack. So we can't really use that as a way to determine if Breloom does a good job against Executor 1v1 or not. So that's why Breloom here suffers a lot. Next up is Snorlax, and I only use a physical set. I didn't even bother with Reflect Wax or Amnesia Wax. And that's because they didn't need to. Breloom needs Sword Stance in order to do decent damage to Snorlax, but Snorlax with just a Body Slam and Hyper Beam is already enough to kill it. Let alone Ice Beam coverage or Reflect. So without Spore, Breloom really struggles. And obviously with Ice Beam, Chansey is a huge threat as well. And technically, Chansey is way more immediately threatening. However, it's not as bad as Tauros and Snorlax. You can realistically win some games, especially if you still have Spore up. But if you get Sword Stance up, even with Reflect, you have a chance. You most certainly do. So, I'd say this one could go either way. But you can definitely convince me to make it a... what's it called? A bad matchup. Speaking of bad matchup, that's not Alakazam. This is just simply unwinnable. And I don't think there's anything else I need to say here. Same thing with Cloyster. You have a speed tie, so that's already bad enough. But Cloyster just always gets the OHKO with Blizzard. So Breloom is kind of screwed, no matter what. Even, like, a Growth isn't going to help you. Like, I decided to use Growth here just for the fun of it. As you can see, it does a lot of damage. Maybe Breloom could have survived, but probably not. But even if it did survive, it would be at, like, red HP very low. So, Executor is also just a unwinnable matchup. Oh, what do you know? We're just not doing these unwinnable matchups, now are we? No, we're not. This is unfortunate. I feel so stupid. Like, it's kind of crazy how giving Breloom Switch Bomb isn't even the thing that's the most stupid thing about the video. It's just the fact that I thought Spore was so good, it single-handedly would make Breloom a OU viable Pokemon. As you can see, definitely not. There are some things it's good against, like Jolteon here, but no, it's just not having a good time. I didn't even go over how Breloom was just naturally frail in the first place. So even neutral moves do a lot of damage to it, like you saw with the Snorlax replay. Oh, poor guy. I feel bad. At least it'd be better in, UU, or not UU, Gen 2. And here's another thing of just Breloom getting OHKO'd. Jinx is theoretically something it could threaten if it's paralyzed, but I don't think it's ever worth the risk. Now here's a funny one. Both of these guys resist each other, basically. Breloom needs Mega Drain, but Mega Drain is just not very good. And many Rhydon sets don't even bother with Rock Slide anymore. So Leer into Body Slam, funnily enough, always makes the Breloom matchup Breloom just can't win it. I don't know how that's possible, but it's funny to see. But maybe use Mega Drain just for Rhydon. You're pretty cool. I decided to have some fun with this one and have Breloom use a whole bunch of growths. But this one is pretty straightforward. If you ignore that, you just go with the fact that, what's it called? Breloom resists Surf, so it can probably get enough Sword Stance up to threaten Slowbro in time. Although the Paralysis is always annoying. In fact, I think the Paralysis is enough to where... I guess this could be a good matchup, now that I'm looking at it again. Oh no, wait, I did have it as a good matchup. Yeah, I think I was originally debating on it being could go either way. But that's kind of ridiculous. So, while this is going on, I just wanted to remind you guys that you should join the Discord server. More people have been joining lately. And we're probably going to have a new policy when it comes to our tournaments. I think now we're going to have a lot of reserves for Generation Jumble in case some people are no-shows or get disqualified. We've had that with Convex a few times. So, for future reference, even if there's a season Generation Jumble in the middle, such as would be right now, anyone who joins, as long as they ask or show interest in the Jumble, you're going to automatically be put as a reserve. In case someone DQs, or, like, just can't make it, stuff like that. So we just thought I'd let you guys know. Like, I'm sure a lot of you would appreciate it. Also, this is a weird set I had with Growth, Mega Drain, Sword Stance, Hyper Beam. Is it good? Absolutely not. Is it funny? Yes, it is. Could it work? No. No. It just can't. I had a misclick there, but Slowbro should have won that matchup. But then again, Breloom should be winning anyways. So yeah. Alright, next off we have Starmie. And I was very curious if Psychic would Oko. Looks like it didn't. But with that much damage, it doesn't even matter. Even Explorer wouldn't matter unless you get very lucky and get a lot of free turns in. But at that point, it doesn't matter because 70 speed, funny enough, isn't even that good for Gen 1. It's literally what I consider average. Literally anything faster is considered fast, in my opinion. So just having, like, the literal, like, borderline speed is a big problem. Especially when almost everything has super effective moves against you. Victory Bell is not one of those Pokemon, so at the very least, there's one grass type a little bit worse than you are. Not counting, like, Tangela in Gen 1 OU. But like, for real, I would very much rather use Venusaur over Breloom. But maybe that's just me. Maybe Spore is good enough to where it'll have some niche. It probably would, but I would not feel good using this guy in a tournament. Last but not least, we have Zapdos, and I don't think I need to explain just how bad this is. Normally, in regular gens, Breloom can just do this thing where his trainer shoots the Zapdos player, but since they don't have guns in Gen 1 OU, Zapdos can always get an Oko with Drill Peck. And because God hates Breloom, it's always a critical hit. I know, really unfortunate. But here's the tier list, and yeah, this is one of the worst tier lists I've seen in a really long time. I have not seen something struggle this much in a while. Not even Diggersby when I did that back during Easter. Breloom is just not having a good time here. Grass and Fighting is just a flat out terrible typing for it to have. How I managed to make a video where I said it would be 200 for OU, I have no idea. But stuff like this is really why I do revisited videos. Because sometimes my takes are just actual dog shit. So, I would apologize, but having a take that bad gave me an excuse to look over Breloom. But you know what? I don't think Breloom is happy about that. What do you think? Do you think Breloom would have a niche in OU anyways? It probably would, but I don't think it'd be that good. I definitely think Kingler, Pinsir, and especially Sandslash are all better Sword Stance users. But Breloom is the cutest and the coolest. So that's all that matters. Thank you all for watching. This is Groundback, and I look forward to hearing from you.